Welcome back to Trails to Azure. Unstable ownership at the Civic Center. A city's residential affairs division recently discovered several change of residence forms with suspicious names, now requesting formal investigation. Okay. Blunder my umbrella. Oscar. Mama swung by for an errand and lost something important to her. Could you help us find it? Come to the bakery on West Street. Beta testers wanted. We'll soon be offering a puzzle game Pom Pom Party on orbital terminals throughout the city. Ooh! Accordingly, I need some help conducting a final user acceptance test. Since the special support section has always been looking after Tia, we'd like you to participate. Okay, you get a minigame for that one. A Medal of Honor. Yeah. Okie dokie. I keep wanting to hit the X button to bring up the menu. Birds! Cállate! Shush! 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 Speed +5 prevents delay. That would be better on Wazi. I'm going to go to the department store first to see if I can't. There, now everyone's got every slot open. She actually has 3 lines. Interesting. 1 primary line, 2 secondary lines. So something I recommend with these secondary lines that don't really chain into anything, put stat affecting quartz here. Damage up, evasion up, things like that. While you focus on one element on this line. Since there's an earth quartz here, go ahead and focus on putting earth and increasing earth as much as you can here, while these get stat buffing ones. Again, you're going to want to put a stat buffing one here while continuing this chain. Same goes for Wazi. Lloyd, you can be a bit of a mix. Orbital tech stuff up here. It's a car. Also, I think, no, was it here? Don't remember where I could buy an issue of the Crossbell Times. I think it's over here at the department store. Yes. Now we can take a look at that. The market reacts to the upcoming conference. At the most recent regularly scheduled conferences, the Crossbellian government presented its economic forecast for the coming fiscal year. This announcement will serve as a touchstone for the upcoming trade conference next month. In response to the news, the West Sumerian economy experienced a surge in stock activity, flooding exchanges with frantic brokers and stimulating both domestic and foreign markets alike. We will continue to monitoring the situation as the conference approaches. Proposed by the Crossbell City Mayor, Dieter Kreuz, the first of its kind international summit has garnered much attention for its politicians and economists across Sumeria since its announcement, with some stating that the event could shape to be the continent's economy for the next decade. Seminars for business owners will be held on a frequent basis, and an informational pamphlet outlining details relating to the conference is set to be published ahead of the event. The Orcus Tower's first debut is fast approaching. Crossbell City's new mayor, dubbed Orcus Tower by Mayor Kreuz, has been completed in time for the West Sumerian Trade Conference. At a staggering 250 arch tall, it is the tallest building on the continent. The unveiling will be held as a highlight of the conference's opening ceremony. This is one reveal you won't want to miss. Mayor Dieter Kreuz seeks to reform the Diet. The new mayor's recent submitted proposal has caused quite a stir in the Diet, which remains firmly divided between the Imperial and Republican factions. Speaker Henry McDowell welcomed the proposal, which will be likely to be debated in the coming term. What structural change, if any, will the mayor's motion bring? The Crossbell News Service will be keeping a close eye on any further developments. Former mayoral secretary back behind bars, Ernest Reese, former secretary of Mayor McDowell, has been arrested once again by the CPD's Special Support Section. Former Speaker Hartman has also taken in for questioning on various charges, including bribery. The case has since regulated to the First Division, who stated that Hartman's testimony regarding this involvement with the cult incident would be taken at a later time. Orbital Network tests entered the second phase. The Orbital Network, under joint management of the government of the IBC and the Epstein Foundation, has begun. The next stage of the connectivity test project heads claim that they will be able to support more users at higher speeds and anticipate the increased user of computer terminals. Perhaps one day, you too will be able to access the Orbital Network from the comfort of your own home. I don't know, man. A wireless computer network across the entire world sounds a bit far-fetched. Highlighting historical moments, Stargazer Tower, a marvel in the sea of green, off the beaten path of Ursula Road, just southwest of the city, lies Stargazer Tower, a magnificent ruin dating back to the Middle Ages. Legend has it that the structure, which features a large bell upon its roof, was once used by astronomers to observe the stars. Though entry is currently prohibited, why not dedicate an occasional passing thought to our home's historic landmark? And in leisure, the weekend forecast: watch out for rainy weather rolling into Crossbell City this weekend. Readers who plan on leaving the house are advised not to forget their umbrellas. The Mains region, however, should expect clear conditions for the entire duration. And then just an ad for a Times Department Store rooftop opening soon. We are pleased to announce the renovations have finally been completed on our rooftop area, which will be open to the public use in the near future. Customers are invited to use the space to relax and take in the view during the visit to the store. Interesting. So they're at the department store there. Yeah, the rooftop access, and you can really take in Orcus Tower. Now then, on to the busy work. I want to go to the store, to the workshop here, because I should be able to upgrade Noel's weapon. Alrighty. Let's head back to the Central Street. take a look at these. Over at the Civic Center, formerly known as City Hall. So, that's the administrative district. Welcome to the Crossbell Civic Center. Oh, pardon me, SSS. Thank you for coming. We hear about the request you sent in. We also have a few new members helping us out today. A pleasure. Nice to meet you. You as well. The Civic Center, huh? It feels a little weird having to call it that now. Yeah, I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that this isn't City Hall anymore. It'll take some getting used to for sure, but they've already relocated to their new building now that it's nearing completion. That said, the Civic Center will continue to operate as a branch office of sorts for the local government. In that sense, it's still a terrific reason for the community. Resource, for the community. The way it has been. Good to know. And this receptionist will continue to serve as a point of contact for a variety of residential and municipal services. Attempts to notify the population of this have gone largely unnoticed, however. We've gotten quite a few confused inquiries as a result. Sorry, that's not what you came for. Not a problem. Sounds like you have your own work cut out for you. Bureaucracy just couldn't get more dull, though, could it? If it were up to me, I'd have given this place a little entertainment district flair. Maybe make it a watering hole for the public officials. Civil service by daylight, nightclub by moonlight. I'm sure the SSS would be more than popular than ever if we spearheaded that. Maybe with the government. That doesn't sound like the kind of popularity we want. What would our support request even be? Our duty is to protect and serve the people, Wazzy, not prepare and serve alcohol. Could it be? You could do both. It's kind of fun to picture, though. Anyway, Lloyd, aren't you forgetting the reason we came here? Right. Sorry about that. So, about the support request? Yes, allow me to explain. I'm sure you all know the change of residence notice, correct? Anyone moving in or out of Crossbell City is required to file one. However, recently we've noticed some suspicious names on several forms. Suspicious how? As you see, they don't belong to anyone registered within the city. We checked each instance we came across, but none of them matched any citizens or corporate bodies. With that in mind, I was hoping you could look into the addresses under these suspicious names. Just to be safe, I would also like you to check the former residents as well. In other words, you want us to confirm the status of the previous and current occupants of every location. If there's even the slightest possibility that this is a criminal matter, we can't afford to ignore it. A situation like this calls for a full investigation. We won't leave a single stone unturned. I assume you have a list of suspicious addresses in question? But do you happen to know the whereabouts of each of the previous occupants as well? Unfortunately, only one of them notified us of their new place of residence. The others are completely unaccounted for. Naturally, that's where our sleuthing comes in. Let's start by checking each address and the previous occupant we know of each location. We might learn something about the other former residents during the investigation. Sounds like, yeah, that should work. Do you have some sort of list we could take off? We could take a look at. Of course, I made copies of each of the forms for you in advance. Well, we'll hold on to these. Looks like we have a total of 3 places of interest. The first one is in the residential district. Ellie, do you recognize this address? Yes, that's the house right next to my grandfather's. The residents are the High Bloods? Is this the name of a company? A stockbroker named Bond was living there with his family last I remember. Yeah, that's the name listed on the previous resident. A stockbroker named Bond. Wasn't he one of the Gnosis victims during the cult incident? I'm certain of it. I heard he and his family went through a rough patch after the incident, but I wasn't aware they moved. That's worrisome. Do you suppose they got wrapped up in some kind of trouble? We can't know for sure, but Bond did submit a change of residence notice. It says he moved to East Street on the second floor of the apartments. That's just to the left of the Bracer Guild. The residential district and East Street. That's 2 places on our agenda so far. The next address is also on East Street. I know this one. It should belong to the Fisherman's Guild. Wait, what? What's wrong? Well, the form says the current occupant is the Imperial Fishing Club. I don't think I've ever heard of them before. You're a member of the local Fisherman Guild, right, Lloyd? Have the other members said anything about this? Well, I've been kind of busy lately, so I haven't had nearly as much time for fishing as I'd like. There's also no new address listed for the Fisherman Guild. Maybe they just changed their name. I guess we'll find out when we get there. The final address is on the first floor of the Lotus Heights in the downtown district. The name of the previous resident was Ginter? There's no current residence listed for him either. The new tenant is Mr. Sean Onham? Wait, why does that sound familiar? Maybe because it's the name of a famous fairy tale author. What? He's the man who wrote Mark and the Witch of the Deep Forest. It's one of the library's most popular children's series. Remember, Lloyd, we ran across that while investigating Revanche. Oh yeah, that's right. It was the password for one of the doors. Oh, I can't believe a famous author would choose to live downtown. Me either. Considering he's been dead for years now. All right, I knew that. Not to rub it in, but that sounds like the sort of thing you should have caught when the Phantom Phenon turned into this form. When the Phantom Penman turned in this form. I can't apologize enough for that. We'll try to be careful with these things, I swear. We understand it must be a busy time for the Civic Center and with the new mayor in office. Yeah, the ones who should be apologizing are the people who submitted those forms. I'm going to guess that the local Fisherman Guild was just absorbed by the Imperial Fishing Club, so it's just a name change. And the Phantom Penman, as Wazzy called it, might just be a son or grandson with the same name. It's probably just people overanalyzing things, or just the grinding gears of bureaucracy. Not to worry, the SSS is on the job. Well, let's get on that. I believe that where I'm going is just to the other side of the entertainment district. Yeah. The residence of Representative Campbell, leader of the Republican faction, yes. Last I heard, all dying members involved with the cult were removed from office. True, but they were never found anything that linked them to the Representative Campbell. He does seem to have some kind of relationship with Hayue, but there's nothing illegal about that. On the surface, anyway. In other words, he's still corrupt, just not in the same way as the rest. A nice car. Oh, the Hayworths. Hello, Harold. Your daughter is alive. My mind starts to wonder whether I pass time by myself like this. For instance, I've been ruminating over that purple-haired girl who saved Colin earlier this year. Are we truly destined to never meet? I couldn't even know where to begin finding her. It's simply a hope I can't let go of yet. But if I ever get the chance, I would love nothing more than to offer that girl my gratitude in person. Ren. She's long since returned to Libero with Estelle and Joshua. I'm sure she still has a lot of emotions to work through, but I know she'll come back one day, eventually. Boy, this game really knows how to pull at the heartstrings. Shush, bird. For the record, that Ren is their long-lost daughter that they believe is dead. because the colleague they left her with was killed and home burned to the ground. But in reality, she was kidnapped and sold to a sex cult. Trolls is fucking dark, people. Oh, Colin snatched a cookie just now, didn't he? What a mischievous little boy. I'm guessing a babysitter or a neighbor. Bond's family used to live in this area, but they moved away recently. They came to say their goodbyes before they left, but we still haven't heard from them. What's up, shithead? Munch, 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 munch. This cookie tastes good. And he's a typical kid. Okay. This doesn't seem to be the place. It said across from Ellie's grandfather's, or adjacent to it. Was it down here? Yes. Next to McDowell Estate, this must be the place. Excuse me, is anyone home? No luck. Is the door locked? No, actually it's open. I hear some voices inside too. Maybe they're so busy talking they didn't notice us. Why don't we just stroll on? They wouldn't have left it open if they wanted to keep us out. And besides, this is an official police business in a way. That doesn't mean we can barge into people's homes whenever we want. Lloyd, you just barged into 2 people's homes not 5 minutes ago. But we are in dire need of some answers, so I guess we don't have a choice. Let's go inside and make our presence known. Yuri. Man, the 3 of us were like Gehenna on wheels out there. Nothing like a little rainy morning drift racing. No kidding, my heart's still pounding like crazy. By the way, Reggie, what happened to those girls you called? Yeah, they should be here any minute now. See, what did I tell ya? Perfect timing. Damn, we got some real hotties. Yeah, they're even more smoking than I thought they'd be. Are y'all drunk? Excuse me? I'm not sure if I'm more offended or confused. You're confended. Thanks for bringing them here, my good men. I'll get you boys a tip. This could just be my experience talking, but I don't think they sense they're here for hostesses they called for. Let's clear things up. We're with the Special Support Section of the Crossbell Police. There's a few things we'd like to ask you. This shouldn't take long. So let me get this straight. The 3 of you came to Crossbell to get some real-world experience. Then you came across this house for sale while looking for a place to stay, and Yuri here bought it on a whim. Do I have that correct? That's right. Finally get it through your skulls. Just one more thing. The residency form is listed under the name High Bloods. What's this about? You want to know? That's what we call our dynamic trio. That's because we got real noble blood coursing through our veins. Pretty sick name for 3 guys blessed by the goddess. Yeah, they're just a bunch of spoiled rich kids. That makes sense. Damn straight. All our dads are higher ups at the Vern Company. They're from the Republic. Never mind. They're still spoiled rich kids. As a matter of fact, Yuri's is on the board of directors. You should be groveling at our feet. Couldn't have put it better myself. And there's the girls they hired. Oh, finally. Hello, ladies. Well, now they're the real deal. Pardon us, which one of you is Mr. High Bloods? We're not interrupting, are we? Oh, not at all, girls. They were just leaving. Well, take a hike already, and don't let the door hit you on the way out. Okay, we get the message. Looks like they're in for a good while. I wouldn't have mind staying behind a bit. They struck me as spoiled brats coasting on their parents' money. That's exactly what they are. It's a shame that such a beautiful home fell into their hands. I can't imagine this is what Bond wanted. Nothing about their contract sticks out to me as illegal, though. It's frustrating, but there's nothing more we can do about it. They're just a bunch of rich kids. Sure enough, we should just leave them alone for now. Anyway, this is all we needed to check in the residential district. Let's go pay Bond a visit now. Yeah. But first, let's go see if we can visit the McDowell estate. No one in the kitchen to talk to. No one in the office, though there is a stash of liquor. The three youths who moved in next door recently have been rather problematic. They drive recklessly around the city, blast loud music in the dead of night. Such behavior is simply intolerable. But even should I complain, they refuse to listen to reason. It's quite a dilemma. Call the police. Johanna, are you drawing on the windows? Oh, well, they're so foggy that I was simply, excuse me, my lady, I really should be getting back to my cleaning. Okay, and I don't see the former mayor. Peep, peep, chirp, chirp. Y'all having fun over there? There's the Bracer Guild. That's the Fisherman's Club, so this must be the apartments. Yeah, Keisha. My sister says she doesn't know how to play pretend bracers. Oh well, maybe we can just play house instead. I don't have work today, so I'm spending time with Yugit. I can't say I would make for a good pretend bracer. That's cute. I heard you have your own orbital car. You don't have to say a word. Allow me to apologize on Noelle's behalf. I know exactly how she gets when it comes to cars. Mom, I don't know what you're talking about. Not like that. Right, guys? Well, I wouldn't say she's completely off the mark. Your eyes lit up like septium crystals when you heard the specs. I half expected you to squeal like a schoolgirl. I can explain. Explain what? That your mind went so blank when you saw it that you don't remember any of that? Oh, adios. That's cute. And I'm guessing Fran still lives with the mother, because there's the matching plushie. I mean, there's no shame in that. I'm going to turn 30, still live with my folks. I pay rent, I pay bills, I buy groceries. Not some freeloading mooch. Hello, Squirt. You're such a well-behaved girl, Marnie. Have some pets as a reward. So Mr. Braun is a stockbroker like myself. I may have just found a new friend to chat with. And he's just across the hall. Oh, we have visitors. I remember you. Hello, we're with the Crossbell Police Special Support Section. You're Bond, correct? We met during the cult incident. Of course. I'm in your debt for rescuing me from that terrible fortress. I've been wanting to express my gratitude to you all this time. You have my deepest thanks. And mine as well. Our family owes you a great deal for all you've done for us. Not at all, we were only doing our duty. I'm glad to see you're all in good health. Only because you and your team, but I digress. Was there a particular reason you came to visit today? There is, actually. I see, so the four of you are investigating dubious change of residence forms. I take it that you hear the details of how I sold our home then. Sorry to pry, but we need you to confirm that it was all above the board. It's fine, I understand where you're coming from. The sad truth of the matter is that we had to sell off the house to help repay our debt. The buyer turned out to be the same real estate agency we originally purchased from. Everything about the transaction was legitimate. So as far as I know, nothing remotely illegal occurred. Well, that's a relief. I do have a question, however. You have no obligation to answer, but I'd understand if you'd rather not. But would you mind divulging about how your family fell into debt? As you already suspected, it was a consequence of my action during this spring. My memories from it are still a blur. I made some ill-advised investments while under the influence of those horrible blue pills. After the incident, our lives came crashing down and we fell into debt. I'm sorry. It's alright, believe it or not, I feel blessed after everything that happened. Thankfully, I was able to recover most of the debt by selling all of our assets. Since I personally took on the losses, I was fortunate enough to keep my job. Shush, birds. Gayete. Gayete. Shush. Don't flutter your feathers at me. Don't ruffle your feathers at me, you little jerk. And don't backtalk me, Elvis. That's backtalk. Okay. Yeah, keep chirping. Chirp, chirp, chitter, chitter. Most importantly, my wife and daughter stayed with me through it all. They still love their fool of a husband and father. Dear, you promised not to say things like that again. We're family. Nothing changes. We made a vow, remember? For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. Oh, Cyril, you truly are my love, the love of my life. I'm so grateful to have you and Sunetta. Dear, please, not while we have company. You two have something really special together. They say home is where the heart is. As long as you're together, where you live doesn't really matter. A bit grandiose way to put it, but yes, you're right. In any case, we've been working hard to make a fresh start and keeping our nose clean. And I'll be sure to pay off the rest of our debt too, for my wife and my daughter's sake. You're a good man. Please let us know if you ever require assistance again. That's right, we'll be waiting for you. I'm grateful that you would go to such lengths for me. We'll be sure to call the SSS if we happen to need your help. So was that all you needed? I'd be happy to answer any other questions you might have. No, it's okay. We got what we came for. Thank you for your cooperation. Oh, hello. Were you speaking with Mother and Father? That's right. The 6 of us were having a nice chat. You have wonderful parents, Sunetta. You think so? They've been closer than ever now, especially after we moved. I couldn't ask for better parents. Isn't that right, Marie? Yeah. Sounds like Marie agrees. I'm happy for them. Anyway, that confirms the whereabouts of the Bond and his family. Okay. Well, next is the Fisherman Guild. Currently under renovation, Imperial Fishing Club. It's the same as the last time we came. Are you sure you don't know what happened here? Not a clue. Honestly, I haven't been keeping up with the Fisherman's Guild recently. Oh, hold on. Looks like the door's unlocked. Smarmy little... You call yourself a fisherman? What he said. We're not going to stand for you strong-arming us out like this. Oh, that's not good. I recognize those voices. Excuse us? Oh. And who might you be? Huh? Lloyd! You came just at the right time. Go ahead and tell him, Lloyd. The Crossbell branch of the Fisherman's Guild is a place where all anglers are supposed to stand together as comrades. Rod to rod. Don't say it like that. Back up. What's going on here? So you belong to the Fisherman's Guild, do you? Have you come to voice your petty grievance as well? Well, it's true I'm a member, but I'm here with the SSS. You're investigating a suspicious address? I suppose it's true that we submitted the residency form before registering as a business. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Lord Lake Lord III. Otherwise known as the heir to Erebonia's Lake Lord Company, the leading fishing equipment manufacturer in all of Zumeria. As of the Imperial Fishing Club, it is none other than the Professional Angling Association that I represent. The Lake Lord Company. Have you heard of it, Lloyd? Yeah, any fisherman worth his bait would be familiar with the name Lake Lord. Like he said, he's the #1 fishing gear brand on the continent. You can't cast a rod anywhere without seeing their stuff. Wow, they're that prolific. But what business would an heir to an imperial company have in Crossbell? The business, of course. It is to further expand the reach of my glorious Imperial Fishing Club. You're standing in our newest foothold. Here it is, all in the fine print, officers. Let me take a look at that. Yeah, they just haven't filled out a business license yet. And it's the rental agreement for the building. Everything here checks out. The current tenant is the Imperial Fishing Club. Now do you understand? You can't let him get away with this, Lloyd. He's trying to usurp the Fisherman's Guild. Usurp? That's right. He snatched that lease away from the branch manager without discussing it with him. He's a cockabully sparred no mirror, convincing the real estate company to transfer it over. We might have been a tad forceful, but I assure you we followed all the legal process. Furthermore, this establishment was being wasted on commoners such as yourself. Oh, God. The Fisherman's Guild views angling as no more than a hobby or a pastime. That's to say nothing of your shoddy equipment. Don't forget I'm a member too. This discussion is over. We've made our case perfectly clear. Now kindly leave so you can report back to this cretin of yours. I'll leave the rest to you, Salem. Yes, sir. Don't you run away from me, you coward! That's right, this isn't over. Something tells me he's not coming back. How did this even happen? We can't just let them get away with it. Right, stealing our branch out from under us crosses every fishing line at once. Branch manager Creedon's going to hear about this. He'll know what to do. Hey, Peter, what's going on? I'm a little confused. Oh, that's right, you've been absent for a while, Lloyd. First things first, let's get out of this rain and let's talk somewhere else. I'll call the branch manager and we'll meet at the jazz bar in the back alley. It sounds to me like your lease expired and they rented the place. I wonder what caused all this. I'm not entirely sure, but we're going to have to follow it up if we want an answer. Let's head to the jazz bar. Shut up, phone! I don't work today. I'm going to talk to that guy again. Still dawdling around here? I've nothing more to say to you. Kindly see yourself out. Oh, this is why I hate nobility. Hey Lloyd, glad to see you made it. Sorry to drag you out all the way out here. Now that you're here though, it's time to begin the meeting. First we have to fill you in on the details. Truth is, our guild branch has been on hiatus for the last 3 months. You can think of it as a self-imposed suspension. Suspension? Yep, it's because the man behind that horrible incident, Johann, was one of our members. Once the dust settled, we all decided to take some time off to re-examine ourselves. But his actions were his own. You shouldn't feel responsible. Sure, we weren't directly involved in the incident, and we certainly didn't do anything criminal. But Johann was still one of our own, a guild brother. And yet, not once did we see any signs of that sinister man plotting beneath the surface. In all honesty, we owe a heavy debt to society for failing to notice. Creedon. Now let's set that aside for now. About a week ago, I received notice from the real estate agency that manages our building. Perhaps it was because of our hiatus, but they claimed the property was abandoned and declared our contract null and void. They then informed us that they signed a new contract with the Imperial Fishing Club. We tried getting in contact with the Imperial Fishing Club ourselves, but it didn't go well. Then we dropped by the branch today. Their representative was in there acting like he owned the place. I mean, sure, that's what the contract says, but we didn't learn the truth until it was today. The rest you already know. This is a little more complicated than I was expecting, but I think I understand the situation. Yes, our building has been usurped by the Imperial Fishing Club, headed by the heir of the Lake Lord Company. As a fellow angler, I take no issue with them wanting to expand their horizons, but not at our expense, and especially not through use of coercion. You abandoned the property. Did you even pay the rent on it? I don't even understand why they hate us so much in the first place. It's harassment, plain and simple. Still, what can we even do about it? Other than bide our time, nothing. Still, we can't just sit back and let this spill the end of the Fisherman's Guild at Crossbell Branch. So while it was shorter than I would have liked, we have no other choice but to bust to end our hiatus. In that case, the Crossbell Branch of the Fisherman's Guild is officially back in business. Nice, I've been waiting for this. However, all members will be starting over at the Amateur Fisher rank. I'm also going to have to suspend the rank certification exam too. Huh? Hold on a second. You can't be serious, are you? I mean, I'm a master fisher. Not anymore, you aren't. We're kicking things off with a clean slate. No exceptions. All that hard work. Oh, that's not so bad, Copon. We'll move up the ranks in no time once the exam returns. Easy for you to say. You stalled out of the hobbyist fisher rank. Okay, let's settle down. I guess that means I'm losing my rank too. I'll make up for it. I'll supply you with some new fishing gear. Take these, boys, and I get a primary rod and a fish. Okay, this is the introduction to fishing. Alright, I'll just leave you guys to it. As for me, I'm going to get work on finding us a new office. Let's meet up again soon. We can share any updates we have then, especially if they're about the Imperial Fishing Club. Got it. Well, that took a while, but we finally got to the bottom of what's happening at the old Fisherman Guild building. We've done all we can on this end. Let's get back to investigating the rest of the addresses on our list. Yeah, you abandoned. Yeah, you can do some fishing. I think it said at the you can at the residential district. Can I go back here? Yeah, but I don't really want to. Now to the downtown district. He's searching for a new office. Lotus Heights. This should be the place. Anybody home? No answer. Is it locked? Yeah, it's bolted tight. Maybe I'm just imagining things, but I feel like I can sense someone inside. Really. Oh, the old pretending you're not home and maybe we'll go away trick. What now? Is this part where we barge in without a warrant? As much as I hate indulging you, we may have to consider it if there's no other option. What was that? Sounded like someone tipping their hand, which means your intuition was spot on. Excuse me, we know you're in there. We'd like to ask you a few questions. Someone's stubborn. You don't suppose they bailed out of the window? It'd be a real problem if they did. Are you the ones making all that racket? What's going on here? Oh, there's the old owner. Sorry about that. We're at the Crossbell Police. We're here to speak with the tenant of this apartment. Do either of you know who lives here? Of course we do. Well, of course I do, but before that... How about you start by telling us what's going on? Sure thing. So that's the way of it. You need to ID the resident of this unit here. I think I owe you an apology in that case. Why? To tell you the truth, that used to be my apartment not too long ago. Oh, you're Genscher. Yep, I'm the dummy who forgot to submit his change of residence notice. There should still be enough time to get one in, though. So consider the message received. I'll have it done by the end of the day. Thank you, that'd be a really great help. On that note, would you mind sharing with us why you chose to move? Of course, it was a bit of a twist of fate, actually. I was actually working as a trader before I screwed up and lost everything a year ago. That's how I wound up here. Recently, an old business associate of mine decided to lend me a hand after hearing about what happened. They offered me a job in Calvert a couple of weeks ago, and I accepted it on the spot. If that's the case, what are you still doing here? Just dropping by? I figured I'd thank everyone in the building who supported me while I needed it most. I don't know where I'd be if not for them. It's nothing special, my friend. Alright, thank you for being honest with us. We just need to know more about this new resident. Alright. Is there something specific we should know about them? The thing is, this particular tenant situation is a bit unusual. Let me give it a try. Hello, this is Tance. Anybody in there? If you are, mind opening up? These folks are with the police. They're not here to hurt anybody. They just need to identify you. Do what you have to, just try not to cause a commotion. Who is this? Pardon us, sir. Are you here to mock me? Huh? I asked if you came here to mock me. I'm sure you love nothing more than to stick it to the illustrious diet member who fell off his perch and into the gutters. Wait, I know you. You're Representative Gable of the Imperial faction. Well, former representative anyway. You were lying low at St. Ursula after your corruption was exposed. So you know my story. You've had your man. What are you going to do with me now? You know, I'm already completely broke. Mirrorless. I wouldn't even be able to afford this apartment if not for a mercy of an old acquaintance of mine. Is that why you're here? To use me for what few connections I have left? No. We're only here to verify who the current occupant of the room is. So just to confirm, Mr. Gable, the current occupant would be you, correct? Yeah, you've got it right. Well, that's all we need to know. As long as there isn't anything illicit going on here, you're fine. I do have one question, though. Why use such a ridiculous name on your change of residence form? Don't tell me you actually expected to fool anyone with a name like that. It's an instant red flag. That it was, unless we're dealing with the rise of a literal ghostwriter here. Right. Truth is, I was always a big fan of Sean's. It was the only name I could come up with when I was staring at the form. Oh, that's why. It's true that Sean Armin's work is appropriate for all ages, I suppose. No shame in being young at heart. That's one way to spin it. Shut up. Just leave me alone already. You got what you came for. Now get out of my house. This is an apartment, sir. Whatever! Yes, please, excuse us. I think it's time, Lloyd. Right. We'll be going now. God, what a bitch. I never expected to run into former Representative Gable, of all people. All things considered, he may still be better off than some of the other Diet members. Agreed, the ones who ended up getting arrested in the wake of the cult incident have it way worse. I'd say they got what they deserved, but good luck convincing them of that. The big takeaway here is that your past misdeeds will always come back to haunt you. It's just the way this world works. Still, I'm sure he can turn his luck around if he works hard and mends his old ways. I still have hope that Mr. Gable and all the other ex-representatives can be reformed and find peace. Hopefully Ernest can do the same too, one day. I seriously doubt it. Our leader isn't just fearless, he's also oh so compassionate. And on that note, why don't we grab some drinks at Trinity? We could use a few after all that talking. We're still on duty. Anyway, that takes care of everything we needed to check on downtown. Although a drink after when we're off duty does sound kind of nice. Hello everyone, how goes your investigation on those address changes? It's all finished actually, but here to give you the report. Oh my, you all did a wonderful job. Interesting, 3 Calvardians moved into the residential district while a group of Erebonians moved into East Street. As for the down district, who's this? Is something wrong? No, it's just I wasn't expecting to see Mr. Gable's name here. I have mixed feelings about it, given how often I used to see him in this building before he fell out of favor. It's strange, despite his corruption and everything that happened with the Imperial faction, I can't bring myself to hate him. I know exactly how you feel. He seemed a more straightforward person than most, at least for better or for worse. If only the man were half as wholesome as his taste in literature, maybe then he'd be better liked. I suppose I can't disagree. In any case, I believe this wraps up your investigation. The next step is for Residential Affairs to file the paperwork. Thank you all for your help. You're welcome. We're always happy to be of service. Please let us know if there's anything else we can assist with. Well, that's that one done. That's the wrong button. I'm going to end this one here. Thank you all for watching. Join me next time on Trails to Azure as I wrap up those other quests. But until then, I am the Dark Seraph, signing off. Goodbye.